Hello, everyone. We're going to take a look at WAMAP Unit 2, 2.2e, reducing fractions and fractions with variables or reducing algebraic rational expressions. A rational expression is anything that can be written as a fraction. And we have two here, and they have variables in them. So these are easier than they may look at first blush. And so I'll walk you through the process for how to reduce these, simplify these. It's going to be using the same techniques as we used with numbers, number fractions. We're going to find common factors, and we're going to play fish and take out the pairs, and then what's left, we put those all together. We multiply them back together, and whatever we get is our lowest. Once all the factors are gone, then you've got your lowest expression of that fraction. So you've got the rational expression in lowest terms. All right, well, so I've got these written out on my tablet. So we have 10x squared y over 35xy. Okay, so I'm going to write this out. I'm going to expand this exponent. So x squared, or x to the second power, is a simplified way of writing x times x. So over here, I'm going to write 10 times x times x times, oops, got a little carried away on that one, x times y all over 35 times x times, oops, y. All right, so I like to use this three-stroke multiplication symbol rather than a dot, and we always try to avoid x because now x is usually a variable at this level of math. So now we could also have written 10 as 5 times 2, right? And 35 as 5 times 7, which would give us a couple of more factors to be able to cancel out. So let's cross out this 10, cross out the 35, and this will just mean we've got all these factors, and we're gonna play fish and see what's left. So starting at the numerator, do you have any 5s? Yes. Do you have any 2s? No. Do you have any x's? Yes. I suppose it really would be fair to let them take turns, but we're gonna do all the numerator, and then we'll go through the denominator and see if there's anything left. But you can play it however you like. Any more x's in the denominator? No. Is there a y in the denominator? Yes. So we're going to take out those y's. And now let's look through the denominator. So there's just a 7 here left, right? 7. Are there any 7s up above? No. So now what we have to do is carefully collect up all the pieces that are left, multiply those together, so we have a 2, right? And we have an x. So that's going to be our numerator, 2x. And then in the denominator, we lost our 5, we lost our x, we lost our y. So all we're left with is 7 here. And this is going to be our answer. We removed all the factors, and we're just left with 2x over 7. So let's go back to WAMAP and see how that looks. 2x over 7. So is this how our fraction looked? Just make sure it shows up here the way you intend, because if you type this slightly differently, I don't know if I can even get in there now. Like if you had a space in there, it won't let me. But we want to have the 2 up there next to the x, ideally. So if you need practice or you need help, let me know. There are some practice things we can do to get better at entering numbers in at WAMAP. So let's see how this went. Okay, so we got a green check. That's awesome. And let's get a similar one. And let's work this second one here, 30x squared y over 48x y cubed. Okay, so this has some bigger factors, but in the same way, we're going to reduce those. So, and let's consider other factors. 30 and 48, if you've been working on your multiplication table, you know, 6 will go into both of them, and maybe nothing bigger. So let's over here write 6 times 5 times x times x times y all over 6 times 8 times x times times y times y. It's y cubed, right? So y times itself 3 times. And now, since we let the numerator go first last time, let's start with the denominator this time. And denominator is asking, do you have any 6's? Yes. Do you have any x's? Yes. Do you have any y's? Yes. Do you have any more y's? Go fish. Okay, then it's the numerator's turn, and he's left with a 5. Do you have any 5's? No, there's no 5's in the bottom here. And he has an x. Are there any x's left? No. So we have to gather up these pieces. I'm going to use a different color. So we have a 5 and an x in the numerator, and we've got an 8 and 2 y's, y times y. So this is going to become 5 times x, which we just write 5x, over 8, oops, I went into erase mode. I'm going to get it in a second. There, okay. 5x over, and we've got 8 times y squared. And we just, when you put a number next to a variable, you don't need a multiplication symbol or parentheses or anything. Just that means 5 times x, 5x. That means you've got 5 x's, and over here you've got 8 y's, 8 y squareds, okay? So if we were actually calculating the value, and we knew what y was, we would square y first because of PEMDAS, right? We do exponents before multiplication. So exponents and then multiplication. But this should work for our answer, 5x over 8y squared. Let's go back to WAMAP and see how it looks. This is a different one right here. So we've got 5x slash 8y, and then shift 6 for the exponent, right? And then 2 because it's squared. And then I always step to the right with the arrow key. So we didn't get a warning here on syntax error, so this looks good. It looks like what I wrote. So let's see how that is. All right, so this got another green check. And let's see if we got a similar question. I think these are going to be very similar, but let's work this. Let's work this one more time. A bonus: 18x squared y, 18x squared y over 15xy. Now, if you are alert, I'll take you back to my WAMAP, my tablet. So can you see how these are similar? We have a number. We have the square of x. We have y. And then a number. And then we have x and y. And the xy part is repeated here. And x squared y is repeated. So we are just going to be looking for factors of 10 and 35. And 5 is a factor. So when we reduce that, we're looking here at 18 and 15. We're wondering, 3 will go into both of those. So let's try that. We've got 3 times 6 times x times y all over 3 times 5 times x times y. And then we'll do a different color. We'll play fish. So 3's go out, x's go out, and these y's go out, leaving 6x over 5. So similar to our first problem, we have a coefficient and a variable. and then a constant in the denominator. So same pattern. So that's one good thing about WAMAP. You can often deduce some extra, get some extra information by looking for patterns. And so let's put that answer in here. It was 6x slash 5. How'd we do? Got it. Okay, nailed it. So give these a try. Try a couple of similar ones. And then if you don't feel comfortable, message me.